series Battle Zone. This series is all about the biggest battles of the Bible. We are continuing to learn what it takes to win a victory in life's toughest battles. Have you ever wanted to quit something? Maybe you started playing soccer, but after the first few games, you decided it wasn't fun anymore, so you wanted to quit. Maybe you started putting together a 1,000-piece puzzle, and once you started putting it together, you decided you didn't want to keep up with the pieces anymore, so you just quit and wanted to walk away. What is something you have wanted to quit before it was over? When things are too hard or not turning out the way we want them to, it's a strong temptation to quit and give up. But if we do that, do we get to celebrate the victory? Of course not. If you quit the battle, you certainly don't get to celebrate a victory. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to discuss the importance of perseverance and not giving up in the middle of the battle. But before we get into the lesson and the review, I want you to check out this video.
It's time! This day belongs to me. Victory is mine.
Oh man, I got in such a hurry I forgot my shoe.
You boys ready?
I don't have time to get my shoe now.
Set.
I don't even have my Nerf gun.
All right, man, I'm coming for you this time. You have no chance.
He's right. I'm a sitting duck. Unless I get all the way over there to the gun I hid the other day. The problem is, there's stickers all in this grass, and I'm barefoot. It's really gonna hurt, but I gotta persevere. So here I go. Oh, ow, ooh, ow, ooh, oh, ow, ooh, ooh, ouch, ooh, ooh, oh, ow, oh, ow, ooh, ouch, ouch, ow, ooh, ooh. Yes, I won! Let's go, baby!
Oh, man. How in the world? You only had one shoe. How did you make it across the yard like that?
I had to persevere, but at least it's not as bad as what the army of Israel had to deal with in the city of Jericho.
Huh?
Don't worry, the kids will learn all about it in their lesson today. It's pretty cool. You've got to persevere if you want to give the shout of victory. Woohoo!
Come on in, boys. I made some pickled bird feet.
Pickled what?
It sounded like she said bird feet. I gotta see this to believe it.
Good morning, kids. In today's Bible story, we learn about a man named Joshua. He had just received instructions from God about how to destroy the great city of Jericho. Jericho was a city that was protected by a massive wall that surrounded it, and God wanted Joshua and the army of Israel to destroy it. So God gave Joshua some pretty wild instructions. God told him, march around the city once with all the armed men. Do this for 6 days. Have 7 priests carry trumpets of ram horns in front of the ark. On the 7th day, march around the city 7 times with the priests blowing the trumpets. When you hear them sound a long blast of the trumpets, have all the people give a loud shout. Then the wall of the city will collapse and the people will go up, every man straight in. So Joshua trusted God, and he passed on the instructions of the army to the army of Israel. Joshua commanded the priests to take the Ark of the Covenant in front and the army marched with them, not saying a word. They circled the city once per day for 6 straight days. Can you imagine what the people in Jericho must have been thinking? They had to be expecting a full-blown attack. Instead, they got a bunch of people marching around the walls once a day, then just simply going back home. It would have been easy for the Israelites to give up on day 5 or even day 6. After all, walking around the walls had to seem silly. But guess what, kids? They didn't give up. They persevered and walked around the walls every single day until the 7th day. And on the 7th day, the army began to march around the city just as they had done for the past 6 days. All the while, they didn't say a single word, not even a peep. They marched and marched and marched and marched until they had circled the city 7 full times. Then when they had marched around the 7th time, the priests blew a long blast on their trumpets, and Joshua commanded the entire Israelite army to shout, "For the Lord has given you the city." As they shouted, guess what? The walls of the city began to shake, and they crumbled to the ground. The Israelites charged into the city and conquered their enemies. God helped them win the victory that day. They were able to shout for the victory even before the victory fully took place. And that's true for us too. When we face challenges in life, we can know that God has already won the victory by sending his son Jesus to defeat the devil once and for all. Today in your lesson, you're going to learn that you can shout for victory because God has won and the devil has been defeated. So now let's relate this to something that might happen in our everyday lives. Have you ever been to a sporting event or watched one on TV? Maybe a football game, in my case, plenty of basketball games, baseball games, soccer game, or even a hockey game. Have you ever noticed people really get excited about those games, whether they're watching in a stadium or at a field or they're watching at home on TV? Their excitement is the same. They are always over the top excited for their team. Remember Boomer. When the team they're rooting for gets a touchdown, makes a goal, hits a home run, or scores a point, they start celebrating by shouting. That's our natural response when something exciting happens. Now let's think about it another way. What if the players started celebrating the victory, celebrating a goal or score before it even happened? Would that make sense? Not at all. We wouldn't celebrate a score for our team by shouting for victory before they scored because what if they didn't actually score? However, that is exactly what we're supposed to do in life. The first thing to remember is shout before you see the victory. Now, the devil will fight hard, but we have to remember that no matter how hard the devil tries to fight against us, God's plan, God has already won the victory. And that is a great reason, the only reason to shout. When we're with God, we have the victory. We can always trust that God will take care of us. He'll help us in our tough times. And the last thing to remember is shout because God has won the victory.
Voila! Hello, boys and girls. Once again, this is I, Presto Changeo, the world's greatest prestidigit magic guy. You get it? Well, once again, I am here to boggle your mind and tickle your senses with today's Power Verse. Today's Power Verse says, "So let's not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up." Galatians 6:9. Absolutely breathtaking! Really, it took my breath away. Are you the illusionist now? Amazing! But now it is time to make the words of the Power Verse disappear with the help of my handy dandy, get it, handy, assistant, Hokey!
My name is Hocus Pocus.
Snap out of it!
Can you tell me how I'm supposed to snap my fingers? I am fingers!
Oh, haha, very funny. The hands got jokes. Okay, here we go! Ah, yes! Now which words should I make disappear? How about this one? And this one? Yes! Now, boys and girls, you shall all say the power verse with hokey.
It's hocus.
Whatever, man. Come on, work with me here. All right, everyone on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
So let's not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up. Galatians 6:9.
Stupendous! But things are about to get even more super duper duper stupendified! I am going to now make even more words vanish before your eyes! Like this one! And this one! Ha ha! Now, let's just see how well you kids remember it. Say it with me now on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3!
So let's not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up. Galatians 6:9.
Good job! Now for my greatest trick ever!
Probably not.
I will glue your fingertips together. Anyway, boys and girls, it is time for my greatest trick. I should make myself disappear. This is presto changeo, saying, now you see me, now you don't. Haha, here we go on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, kookaburra snoddygosta!
All right, Quest Kids, it's time to rewind. So here we go. Question number 1. What is the what you gotta know today? Is it A, keep moving forward, B, I won't give up, or C, I can shout for victory if I don't give up? The correct answer is C, I can shout for victory if I don't give up. Question number 2. Who was the leader of the Israelite army? Was it A, Moses, B, Joshua, or C, Samuel? You're right. The correct answer is B. It's Joshua. Number 3, what city did God tell Joshua to destroy? Was it A, Jericho, B, Jerusalem, or C, Jacksonville? The correct answer is A, Jericho. Question number 4. How many times did Joshua and the army march around the wall on the last day? Was it A, 3, B, 5, or C, 7? Awesome. The correct answer is C, 7. Question number 5. What happened to the walls of Jericho when the Israelites shouted? Was it A, they crumbled, B, they got bigger, or C, they turned red? The correct answer is A, they crumbled. Question number 6. According to our lesson today, shout blank, you see the victory. A, shout when, B, shout before, or C, shout after. The correct answer is B, shout before you see the victory. Question number 7. According to our lesson today, shout because God has won the blank. Is it A, victory, B, championship, or C, prize? The correct answer is A, shout because God has won the victory. Question number 8, true or false? God has already defeated the devil. That's right, it is true. Question number 9, true or false? The Israelite army quit marching on day 6. The correct answer is false. Last question, number 10. Where was our power verse found? A, Galatians 6:9, B, Goliath 9:10, or C, Joshua 1:9? The correct answer is A, Galatians 6 and 9. All right, Quest Kids, that wraps up our lesson for today. We are so glad that you were able to join us online, and we can't wait for you to be back in person with us. But we want you to always remember that you can click on the link in the comments and submit your prayer requests so that our Quest Kids team can continue to pray over any prayer requests that you have. Also remember that we are learning our books of the Bible in Quest Kids each week, and we want you to be able to do that as well. We are learning a song, and it will play right at the end of this. So be learning your song so when you come back, you can say your books of the Bible. Guys, have a great week.
I've got a totally cool new way to learn the books of the Bible.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy.